Welcome to Creation Media Podcast and to this deep dive. Today, we are plunging headfirst into a world where milliseconds don't just matter, they're the entire game.
Absolutely.
We're talking about the hyperspeed environment of short-form video. You know, the realm of TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's a space where you have these tiny micro moments, just seconds, really, to capture someone's attention before they swipe away forever.
Gone. Just like that.
So our mission in this deep dive is to pull out the absolute best, the most actionable insights from the source material you've shared with us. We're focusing specifically on mastering the art of 15-second storytelling, all designed to help you potentially go viral in 2025.
That's the goal, right? Viral potential.
We've got articles, research, notes right here. We're going to try and distill the essential knowledge you need.
Sounds good. And it's fascinating how these platforms have completely redefined what storytelling even means anymore. You're not crafting some long traditional narrative. You're aiming to deliver a complete arc, that beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
All compressed into sometimes as little as 15, maybe 30 seconds max.
It's intense.
It presents this incredible creative challenge, doesn't it? It really pushes you to be incredibly efficient with every single second.
And the sources we've looked at really hammer home how absolutely critical those first 3 seconds are. Just 3.
Oh, yeah. Crucial.
One report, I think it was from TikTok for Business, cited in the material, showed that a staggering 63% of videos with the highest click-through rates, they managed to hook viewers instantly.
63%, that's huge.
Think about that. Nearly 2/3 of the successful videos grab you right at the very start. That's basically your entire window to stop someone mid-scroll.
And the potential payoff for getting that right is, well, it's truly immense when you consider TikTok has, 1.7 billion active users?
It's mind-boggling.
And the massive reach of Instagram Reels, too. A single video that really lands, that connects, can easily pull in millions of views.
Millions.
And that kind of visibility isn't just vanity metrics. It's powerful stuff. It can skyrocket brand awareness, drive serious engagement, and genuinely convert viewers into followers, maybe even customers.
Yeah, real impact.
But the core challenge, like you said, is condensing a compelling narrative arc into such a tiny time frame. Every single second, every single frame, it's just critical.
Okay, so let's unpack the core techniques the sources highlight for crafting these ultra-short, potentially viral narratives. It all starts really fundamentally with the hook.
Absolutely. The hook is the absolute first impression your story makes. Its sole, relentless purpose. Stop someone from scrolling past in those critical first 3 seconds.
Stop to scroll.
It has to immediately pique curiosity or maybe evoke a strong emotion or just make a clear promise of value right up front. One source we looked at calls it the video's red carpet moment.
I like that. It has to be impactful. And the material gives some really great specific strategies here. We're talking about using bold statements, something that feels, slightly shocking or immediately intriguing.
Yeah, like this one simple mistake cost me thousands. Bam. You want to know what it was?
Exactly. Or intriguing questions that speak directly to a common pain point your audience might have. Something like struggling to finally balance work and life.
Relatable, very relatable. Visuals are also a huge part of this. A strong visual hook could be, say, a dramatic rapid zoom into something unexpected.
Or just something weird happening.
Yeah, or something completely out of the ordinary happening on screen from frame one. And you really can't underestimate the power of emotional triggers.
How so?
Well, leveraging humor or evoking nostalgia through something instantly relatable, like that universal groan captured in a visual when your alarm rings, but you're already stressed scrolling through emails in bed.
Oh, I feel that. So true. One viral 2025 example the source points to is from a TikTok creator at Lily's Life Hacks. It hooked viewers with a bold statement right away. This 5-second trick will change how you organize.
Right, and what made that work so effectively, according to the analysis in the material we read, was the combination. You had that bold promise of immediate value.
The 5-second part.
Exactly. Paired with a rapid visual transformation going from like a chaotic, messy desk to a perfectly tidy one almost instantly.
So satisfying to watch.
Totally. It was specific, incredibly relatable, and visually engaging from the very first second. And that video pulled in a massive 2.3 million views.
Wow. Okay, so the sources also suggest some technical filming tricks, right, for crafting that hook.
Yeah, practical stuff. Use a dynamic visual change right at the start, maybe a jump cut from chaos to order, perhaps synced up to a trending sound.
Makes sense.
Editing tools like CapCut's auto zoom feature can help emphasize the action, draw the eye in, and crucial for the hook, middle, and end.
Let me guess. Text.
Text overlays. Bold, high contrast text. Think white text with a black outline. Something super readable. And keep it short.
Like wait for it or something.
Exactly. Reinforces the hook. Remember, the data shows around 80% of viewers watch on mute initially. 80%.
So text is absolutely essential for conveying your message or hook quickly. Can't rely on sound alone.
Not at first, no. So moving beyond just stopping the scroll, a truly great 15-second story needs an emotional arc.
Right, it can't just be flashy.
Exactly. Even in this super compressed format, you want to take the viewer on a sort of mini roller coaster of feeling for those few seconds.
A mini roller coaster like that. So the classic narrative arc, exposition, rising action, climax, resolution, it's still there.
It is, but it's drastically, almost brutally condensed.
Okay. The material we reviewed breaks down that condensed arc with rough timing suggestions, though obviously these are flexible.
Yeah, guidelines, really.
So exposition is like seconds 1 to 3. Set the scene immediately. Show the relatable situation fast, maybe a student looking totally overwhelmed or stressed about homework.
Got it. Quick setup.
Then rising action, maybe seconds 4-8. Build a little tension or introduce the conflict. The student starts trying some new study hack they saw online.
Okay, the struggle begins.
Then climax, around seconds 9-12. This is the peak moment of tension or change. Does the hack work brilliantly, or maybe does it completely fail in a funny way?
The payoff moment or the anti-payoff.
Right. And finally, resolution, seconds 13-15. Wrap it up super quickly with the outcome. The student may ace the test, or perhaps learned a funny, relatable lesson about questionable online tips.
Boom. Done. Story told. One source uses a viral Instagram reel called Lost in Manhattan as a perfect demonstration of this emotional arc.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that one mentioned.
It opens showing a traveler just panicking on a busy street, clearly late for a flight. That's your exposition and rising action building instantly.
Stressful.
Totally. Then a kind local steps in to help them navigate the subway system. That's the climax, the turning point.
Yeah, the helper appears.
Finally, they make the flight and express huge relief and gratitude to the stranger, the resolution.
Nice. And that reel got, what, 1.8 million views?
Yeah, substantial. And the source analysis highlights that the clear emotional journey going from intense stress to immense relief was incredibly powerful and relatable.
Makes sense. People connect to that.
Definitely. And it was enhanced by authentic feeling narration and, well-placed upbeat music kicking in at the end.
So for filming this kind of arc, what are the practical tips?
Well, things like using music effectively to underscore the mood shifts at different points in the arc. Definitely shoot in vertical 9.16.
The standard phone format.
Yeah, the tall phone screen ratio.
Right.
And keep the cuts quick. Maybe change the visuals every 2-3 seconds to maintain that pace and energy.
Keep it moving.
You can add subtle visual effects, maybe like a brief sparkle filter and CapCut for an emotional peak. But the emphasis really is on authenticity. Keep it feeling real.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And finally, there's another powerful technique mentioned. The cliffhanger.
Ah, yes, the cliffhanger. Unlike hooks, which are right at the start.
Cliffhangers are at the end.
Exactly. Cliffhangers leave the story deliberately unresolved. Hanging.
Why do that?
Well, it creates urgency. It directly prompts viewers to comment or share the video or actively look for a part 2 or the next video in a series. Drives that engagement.
Keeps them coming back.
Precisely. A fantastic 2025 TikTok example cited is by @DIY with Dan. His video ended with the line, "Will this $5 hack save my old chair?" shown right on screen.
Okay.
Just as the chair he was trying to fix wobbled precariously, looking like it was about to totally collapse.
Oh, no, you have to know what happens.
Exactly. And that video didn't just get views, 3.5 million of them,
Wow.
but it racked up a phenomenal 10,000 comments,
Just from that ending.
all driven by people desperately wanting to know if the chair survived the hack or not.
That's smart. How do you create that?
The sources suggest filming a dramatic pause, maybe freezing on the crucial moment, like that wobbling chair, and adding clear text like part 2 tomorrow or what happens next.
Make it obvious more is coming.
Yes. You can even use some thoughtful AI tools like Runway, for example, maybe, to generate a suspenseful background for your text overlay. Imagine a stormy sky appearing behind the wobbly chair footage.
Ooh. Atmospheric.
And sync a trending sound to stop abruptly right at the peak moment for maximum tension. Posting the first part during peak evening hours is often recommended too, to maximize that initial engagement burst.
Get people talking overnight.
Yeah, build the anticipation.
Now, one of the sources includes this really interesting look at a hypothetical challenge. It sort of imagines how these techniques might play out live as creators try them.
Oh, right, that part. It's designed to illustrate the process, right?
Right.
And the impact of the different elements.
Exactly. It's a great way to see these concepts applied directly. It describes a hypothetical scenario with two creators. The first one, let's call their story The Coffee Crisis, like the source does.
Okay, coffee crisis.
Crafted a story where the hook was someone panicking with no coffee using really dramatic music.
We've all been there. Relatable hook.
Right. The narrative arc then followed the search, trying a secret hack, a barista revealing a hidden stash, and finally sipping the coffee triumphantly.
Success.
But with text saying part 2 soon, the filming notes mentioned using shaky cam for that urgent feel, and a CapCut glitch effect for the climax, the reveal.
Okay, interesting choices. And there was a critique.
Yeah, the source includes a hypothetical critique of that story. It praised the strong hook, the use of shaky cam, the glitch effect was seen as good, and the smart cliffhanger text. But it suggested maybe the cuts in the rising action could have been slightly slower, just for clarity, and that the text overlays could have been bigger, more prominent.
Fair feedback. Constructive.
Then the second creator's story, titled The Street Bet in the source material. This one opened with a competitive hook. Can I haggle better than him? Pointing at the first creator, set in a bustling street market.
Ooh, competitive angle. I like it.
Its arc involved quick shots of street stalls, the second creator haggling, the first creator also trying to haggle,
A little rivalry.
leading to a climax where a vendor accepts the second creator's offer, but basically laughs at the first creator's attempt.
Ouch.
Burn. And the ending was the second creator looking triumphant with text asking viewers to vote in comments.
Brilliant. That drives comments like crazy. What was the critique there?
That story's critique, again, detailed in the source, praised the competitive energy, the vibrant street visuals, how the cuts were synced really well to the music beat,
Nice.
and especially that comment-based cliffhanger as a really smart engagement tactic.
Totally agree.
Suggestions for improvement included maybe using more close-ups during the haggling scenes, perhaps using natural lighting instead of an AI background if possible for authenticity,
Interesting point about AI backgrounds.
and maybe adding a voiceover to clarify the stakes or the outcome.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the reason the source includes this kind of challenge concept is pretty clear then.
Yeah, I think so.
It shows these techniques actually in action, highlights how creators might think through the whole process, and demonstrates how specific filming or editing choices really amplify the narrative.
And it also suggests how that kind of relatable banter between creators or using hypothetical engagement prompts like voting in comments can really boost listener connection, makes it feel interactive.
Definitely. So bringing this back to you, the listener, listening right now, here are some concrete, actionable tips distilled from all this material to help you apply these principles.
Let's make it practical.
Okay, first, define your story tightly. Pick one simple, relatable idea, maybe a common struggle you face or a quick win you've had. Be able to summarize it in just a single sentence before you even think about filming.
Keep it focused.
Think about those everyday pain points, right? Like navigating crowded public transport or finding a simple solution to some persistent little problem. Those often resonate most.
Good point. Second, script tightly. Write very short lines or maybe even just keywords for visual cues. Let your visuals carry most of the story. Don't rely on lengthy dialogue or narration.
Show, don't just tell, especially in 15 seconds.
Absolutely. Third, test your hooks. Don't just assume your first idea for the opening is the best one. Try different variations, maybe a question, a bold statement, a purely visual reveal.
You could even A/B test if the platform allows, or just post variations and see what performs better. See which one actually stops the scroll.
Smart. Fourth, engage your niche. Yes, use the broad viral hashtags like hashtag FYP or hashtag viral, but also use specific hashtags related to your actual content and your target audience.
So like hashtag New York Life if you're telling that Manhattan story, or hashtag DieHacks if it's about fixing something. Helps the algorithm find the right viewers for you.
Right. Helps people find your stuff. And finally, fifth, iterate based on data. Use the analytics the platforms give you.
They're there for a reason.
Look at where viewers dropping off in your videos. Is in the first 3 seconds? Okay, your hook isn't strong enough, try something else.
Or if they drop off in the middle. Maybe your emotional arc or the pacing is off somehow.
Use that data to refine your technique, test new hooks, tweak your editing, and just improve over time. It's a learning process.
Absolutely. And looking ahead, the sources touch briefly on the future of short-form storytelling. What's coming next?
Yeah, what do they say?
They note the increasing sophistication of AI tools, obviously, and the potential for more interactive features within the platforms themselves, like TikTok's hypothetical choice points, which could allow viewers to actually influence the story.
Whoa, like a choose-your-own-adventure.
Kind of. And the overall trend they identify is this shift towards more structured, narrative-driven content. Creators are building miniseries, developing recurring characters for skits.
Moving beyond just dances.
Yeah, moving beyond earlier trends that were primarily dance challenges or simple lip syncs. Creators like at Lily's Life Hacks and at Travel Tales are highlighted as pioneers in this more narrative approach.
Interesting. So stories becoming even more important.
Seems that way. So bringing it all together then, the key takeaway from all the material we've discussed is pretty clear, I think.
What's the bottom line?
Mastering those core techniques, that instant scroll-stopping hook, the condensed but still impactful emotional arc, and the engaging cliffhanger ending that is truly how you transform a mere 15 seconds into a potential viral moment.
One that can reach millions.
Yeah, potentially millions. It's about connecting with audiences incredibly powerfully and efficiently in what is, let's face it, an unbelievably crowded and fast-paced digital space.
It really is. Which, it makes you think. Is this hyper-condensed, structured storytelling fundamentally changing how we consume and create narratives overall?
That's a deep question.
Are creators becoming these sort of mini filmmakers,
Yeah.
packing real cinematic craft into these tiny micro moments? Or is this whole format just training all of us for shorter and shorter attention spans?
Yeah, it's a fascinating tension, isn't it? Something the sources definitely make you consider. Where's the balance?
Definitely something to mull over.
Well, if you're looking for more insights into creative media and how to connect with audiences effectively, keep listening to this deep dive for future explorations.
Thank you for listening to Creation Media Podcast. Please follow us to get more creative media tips.